We will be up there very soon. Okay.
This is a war memorial to the Brazilian soldiers who died in the war against Uruguay. We're here to visit the Sugarloaf Mountain, which is right there at the Sugarloaf Mountain. We're going to take this cable car that leads up to this mountain, and then from there we somehow make it to the Sugarloaf. We'll find out how. It's called
Reached near the Corcovado Mountain, more or less to the left. That's the one that Michael Jackson shot his clip. I can't remember the name of the clip, but Michael Jackson was there.
Beautiful view of the harbor, the bay. And there you have the Sugarloaf. So we're off to our second cable car that goes from the Urca Mountain to the Sugarloaf Mountain. This was the original cable cars. This car was used for the shooting of a 007 movie, Moonraker.
There was a bug right next.
So we are on top of the Sugarloaf Mountain, and that's a beautiful view of the Copacabana beach.
Ahora compramos un tubo, ¿ok?
Brand that sticks out. Wow. Here's another great view from top of the Sugarloaf Mountain. In the distance, you can see Christ the Redeemer on the right top corner. See the bay on the right. The buildings, the favelas, and the Copacabana beach over there. It's the Atlantic Ocean. On top of the Sugarloaf, you're tasting the acai, which is a local product of the, is it of the Amazon? Amazon, yes.
And look at somebody so happy.
Yes. How's that, Joanne? Ooh. You have mango topping. Banana.
You didn't get any.
Yeah. Well, they it might just be like a beach walk or
Slope in Rio. The toughest slope is Sugarloaf. So right in front of us here is Teatro Municipal, is our opera house, and it can house around 2,200 people. It was built in 1910. It's kind of a small version of the Parisian opera house, the Opera Garnier. And actually all the buildings that you see here have a very strong French influence, because till the World War II, Brazil was very much influenced by the French culture. Building over there, that's the Fine Arts Museum library, and this library is considered to be the 10th most important in the world, and it has a history of importance. When the white building is the city council, and all the buildings to the left are the ones that in the past there were several movie theaters in the street level. Nowadays there are just two movie theaters left. All of them have moved to shopping malls. Okay? And this beautiful monument here that I'm pointing to you here is a monument for the Republic, in homage to the Brazilian Republic. The Republic was established here in 1889. Okay, this tradition to put cobblestones to pave the sidewalks. So this is not Brazilian. I mean, the stones are Brazilian. The man that put each one of those little pieces were Brazilian, but the idea of covering the sidewalks with a little pieces like this is Portuguese. Selaron. He was Chilean, okay? And he used to live in one of the houses in Rome. And if you would like to see how George Selaron, used to look, here is a picture of him with a big mustache, like Salvador Dali. So that's him.
Tiles from different part of the world, huh? And stuck it, right?
By thousands of people that came here to visit. And in the beginning he bought them, but at the end of his life he was receiving so many tiles from all parts of the world. And he accomplished his goal that was to cover all those 220 steps.
The Selaron steps is a set of world-famous steps in Rio, and this is the work of Chilean-born artist Jorge Selaron. There are 215 steps, and which are covered in over 2,000 tiles collected from over 60 countries around the world, and he put all these tiles together. Cathedral of Rio. Looks like a mine temple. Interesting. here in Samba City for the Samba experience, and that in the distance is the first favela that was established here in Rio.
Gonna be a tour guide today.
Guys, we are actually going into the warehouse of one of the Samba schools. They're preparing for the Samba competition that's going to happen in the annual Samba in February or March of 2023. So we're going to go into the actual workshop where they build the floats and costumes and all these things. These things are from the last or previous carnivals. So feel free to take pictures and videos.
What we can do there here. Actually, we give it to the oldest ladies in the summer school. So, starting in 60, 70, 80, 19 years old, carry this costume for 80 minutes. This costume for... No, you can take picture, no problem. Just take picture of the prototype. And this is like the skirt of the one of the costume, and we use it because we don't want it to be very heavy, right? Almost of the costume have some of this wood inside of it, but here it's very hard to very easy. Original costume from the last carnival. We have more with costume on both sides. Usually men like this side and women like this side, but feel free to decide what costume you want. Alright. % of the Brazilian population is of black African origin. So we are 210 million people. So this is the most historical place for a big deal of our population. During some renovation work, they discovered the whole structure of the harbor, okay? And then the history came, so history is layers of history, right? So they discovered that the original harbor where the slaves, 5 million of slaves arrived in the country, coming from Africa, through this, and you can see parts of the marks of the water, because the water was here. The water is, now is over there, the water is from the bay. But now they are it's far away, but you still can see parts of the, I don't know how this little white thing came from water, from salty water. So that's why you will see. I didn't hire them. I didn't hire them. So a lot of black people from the Brazilian community come here to worship their ancestors. Okay. So you're seeing something very, very unique. I'm surprised.
It's not part of the program.
No. Blame on her. Blame Oceania, Europe.
This is the Brazil tree or Brazil wood. The country takes the name after this tree.
We are now in Mauá Square. Mauá is this guy behind me. He was an entrepreneur in the 19th century, and he was as important in Brazil and or in South America as the Vanderbilts, the Astors, the those big the Fricks, all those big North American families, big money. So that was Brazilian big money. Okay. To the right is the Museum of Tomorrow that was developed by a Spanish architect, Gonzalo Calatrava.
So we're in the Guanabara Bay in Brazil. They have this what is called Museum of Tomorrow, designed by Selaron.
Sem chance de fazer de imediato.
This is the view from the rooftop of our hotel. This is the Copacabana beach. This is the other side, the back side. Seeing Christ and Redeemer. The cobblestone patterns of the sidewalks.